Hey, welcome to the December 2021 tarot reading for the collective. So as we get going here, remembering that the general 2021 reading, the cards were drawn for each quarter. And so for this quarter, we are in Knight Pair of Tears, which in that deck, the Knight correlates to the King. And Pair of Tears is the water suit. And that card was also reversed. So the energy that I was getting from that card is that people in positions of leadership, could be men, doesn't necessarily have to be, were trying to project a particular image of kindness and authority and good intentions. And what we have been finding in this last quarter of the year is that those intentions, or that facade, rather, that image that they were trying to project has been crumbling, or we're starting to see through it. So this is where we are right now, is seeing through these facades. The readings for the last month or two, three, has also been encouraging everyone to really step into the truth of who you are. The readings have been teaching us about manifesting, really, which is how we get out of this rat race of capitalism and oppression and patriarchy that we are currently in, and get back into living in a more truthful, more authentic way for ourselves, for humanity as a whole. So as we move into December 2021, I am not much of an astrologer, but I have done some reading on the energies coming in from the planets, and from what I understand, December is going to be a little difficult, to say the least. There are going to be some harsher energies coming in, especially around the holidays. How fun! So, but really continuing to do this work of being true to ourselves and those things that light us up and make us happy is really what is going to carry us through these difficult times. That is what will help us have the difficult conversations that we need to have. And taking care of ourselves really is also what will help us develop empathy for other people. Because when our own needs are met, we're able to have more empathy for others. When we are moving from a place of peace and happiness, we're able to extend that energy to others. And I'm really tempted to get on a soapbox about why we have been pulled away from that place of peace and centering. But I think I'm not going to do that right now. I may save that for another time. Certainly anyone who has spoken to me in person has probably gotten an earful about it already. So for December 2021, energies that we will need. You just randomly flipped over. So we have here 3 of Wands and 8 of Wands to start off. So 3 of Wands is a building energy. 2 of Wands is about a waiting period, a decision-making period, and the 3 of Wands indicates that we are ready to get going and move on that. We have light coming in to support us. We have a structure and a foundation coming into place. And when we're able to do that in an authentic way, things will move very fast. So which makes sense, you know, when we are doing something, when we're participating in an activity, whether it's work or relationships, friendships, anything, hobbies, when we are doing things that are really in alignment with what brings us true joyfulness, everything else falls into place pretty quickly, and things do move quickly. So that's a really great energy. Once we have these foundations in place, we're ready to get moving, and things just kind of like bam, 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 bam. And also with the holidays, time does move really quickly, but with all of the partying and the gift giving and the gift buying, things can move fast. So this is where we are starting out. And actually, this just fell out. Two of Pentacles. And this is also indicating a bit of a waiting game, a bit of a decision-making game. So what I'm getting from this is that once we have these foundations in place for our core desires, those things that we enjoy doing and participating in, those relationships we enjoy being part of, the next question is, how do we want to move forward with sustaining ourselves? So Pentacles are the suit of Earth, which correlates to the material world that we live in. It correlates to money, business, jobs, work. And so the two gives us, again, a waiting period, a choice. So we now have a choice, being more solid in what we know about ourselves, what we want for ourselves. We now have an option of how we want to move forward to make money for ourselves. How do we want to restructure our physical world? How do we want to, do we want to move to another home base? Do we want to start a new job? Do we want to try to make money from a hobby? All of these energies are part of the ascension process. Once we get used to, again, this energy of allowing in what we really love. And it's really exciting. And December is a great time to be doing that, because, the year is coming to a close. We start setting our goals for the new year, resolutions, if we like. And so what better time to really bring in these new patterns that we've been developing over the last few months. So, as we do that, of course, with moving on to any new path, we're going to have some struggle. The Nine of Wands indicates lots of activity happening once we make that decision. It's not going to be easy. Some of these wands are knocked over. Any sort of transition is difficult. You have people who are used to you behaving and acting in a certain way, and so when you try to change that up, you can certainly come up against some challenges. And along with that comes with a waiting period, and this waiting period, the Hanged Man, the story behind the Hangman is that he goes on a journey of enlightenment. And so hangs himself upside down from a tree in order to attain this enlightenment. So this card is about a period of waiting, but it's also about gaining that enlightenment for yourself, for these new choices that you want to make. And so it can really help if you choose to take this period of rest and going inside and just getting quiet. And let your inspiration speak to you. Instead of, so many times we're just pressured to make a choice. Just go, 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 do, do, do. And that's not what this energy is about anymore. When we are learning to listen to ourselves, we need to take some time to slow down and let these thoughts and ideas come in for themselves instead of pressuring ourselves to just make a choice and go with it. Not anymore. Now we're listening. Now we're sitting still. We're getting quiet. We're letting our bodies tell us what they really want. We're letting our spirits tell us what they really want and what will truly be of highest service to us. I actually heard a story just last night about a man who was a firefighter for 20 years and did not necessarily have any sort of spiritual practice to speak of, but that one day he decided that he wanted to open up a salt spa. And so he did. And it's a complete left turn from what he was doing before. But the woman who was telling the story was saying she has been to this spa and that it is absolutely beautiful, that this man put time and effort and attention and intention into this new business, and that it is just an incredible oasis. And that is the kind of listening that we're being asked to do. So even if it's something that doesn't make sense, even if it's something that seems to come out of left field, the important part is, how does that idea make you feel when it comes in? If it fills you up with joyfulness, if you get this rush of excitement, like, oh my God, I love it, yes. That's the kind of stuff. But we're working on recalibrating right now. Because like I said, we're not used to listening to that inner voice. So it takes time. And so we need to just get quiet and sit with it for a minute and let the information come to us, giving our bodies time to rest so that they can recalibrate themselves, let go of all the stress and all the nonsense and toxins that we've eaten and consumed, and letting our bodies do their own healing work by resting, by slowing down, by taking it easy. And once our bodies are rested, they will begin to communicate with us and tell us what they truly, truly need. And it might sound like I'm blowing smoke right now, but I'm not, because I can tell you from my own personal experience last year, having not traveled anywhere for any of the holidays at the end of the year, I stayed home. I was on my couch and I was resting. And I truly found that once my body was rested, once it was good, the ideas started to come back. I started to gain more energy again. So trusting that that process works and not beating yourself up for feeling lazy or unproductive or any of that, that's capitalist thinking. That's what capitalism teaches us. To go, 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 do, do, do for someone else's benefit, not necessarily ours. I would dare say the people who are happiest in the world right now are the ones who really truly listen to themselves and follow that guidance. And that's what we're being asked to do now. So this card deck really seems to like to just let me ramble. We're just doing, she likes to speak through my voice as well as through the cards. Excuse me, I have to go get these. Yeah, okay, so here we have the Innocence of Wands, we have the Seven of Swords, and the Two of Cups. So, the Innocence of Wands here is the beginning of the court cards in the Suit of Wands. So this is an energy of new beginnings. It is a bit of news that comes in. This is also, I like to think of these cards like I studied martial arts for a long time. For about 7 years, I studied Taekwondo. And when I took my black belt test, on that day, one of the 7th degree masters gave us a talk at the beginning of the test. And he said that all of the color belt levels that we had already gone through in our training was like learning the alphabet. And he said today, if you pass your test and get your black belt, congratulations, that means you know how to read. That basically you have a first grade reading level in martial arts. And so that's how I like to think of these innocence cards, is that 1 through 10 leading up to that is sort of like learning the alphabet in this particular suit. And so when we get to the innocence, we've got our black belt. Congratulations, you know how to read. And so this is about taking action on our dreams, following our passion, if we give ourselves the time and the space to rest and listen. Congratulations, you've learned how to read. And again, much like with the 9 of Wands earlier, we then have the 7 of Wands coming in. And this is energy, particularly communications, thoughts, conversations that we might have with other people that will try to undo this growth that we've just gone through. Because, again, other people don't like to see us change because it forces them to change as well in order to accept this new version of ourselves. And sometimes our own psyches can psych us out as well, because we have stories in our mind about who we are, what we should be doing, yada, yada, yada. This stuff can try to come in and sabotage us right after leveling up. So just something to be aware of. Because if we hold steady, love, fulfillment, emotional support, partnership comes in. And this doesn't have to be romantic partnership, although it certainly can be. Because again, if we are taking the time to get quiet and listen to ourselves about what makes us happy, if it helps you call in a new job, if it helps you call in new friendships, of course it's going to help you call in a relationship. But this can also be a business partner. This can also be a deep and loving friendship as well. As long as we stay true to ourselves and listen to ourselves, all good things coming in. So, to close out the month, as we prepare for 2021, do we have any other advice for our friends here? Ha! I just leapt right out of the deck. So, Two of Wands again. We will have a new choice to make. We had a financial choice to make earlier in the month, and now we will have a choice of spirit, of our own desires, where to go next. And this again indicates a waiting period, taking time to pull back, look into your crystal ball, reconnect with some of the quieter energies from earlier in the month to really get crystal clear on where it is you want to go next. There is no rush. There is no pressure. There is no time limit to any of this. You get to give yourself as much time and space as you want and as you need. Because honestly, when we do that, when we stay in alignment, when we give ourselves the space we need, when we listen to ourselves and the truth of what we want and need, when we move from that place, things move a lot more quickly because you're in alignment. So we'll get there. Just rest. Take it easy. The energies promise to be difficult. Rest. Give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. You might make some mistakes. You might get into some arguments. You might let this guy steal some crosswords from you. It's okay. As Maya Angelou said, once you know better, do better. And simple as that. Keep going. Stay true to yourself. Make your choices about what you want. Give yourself the time and the space to get quiet, to discover what you want. And goddamn, once you take that first step, shit's gonna go flying. It's gonna go flying. And it's gonna be amazing. So there you go, 2021, all wrapped up. And I will see you guys in January. Happy holidays!